Keep yourself on mute. You may post your questions in chat box, will be addressed during Q&A session, and let's ensure a smooth and engaging session for everyone. It is now my honor to introduce our esteemed speaker, CS Himanshu Gajra. He is a qualified company secretary and a law graduate from Mumbai University. Over 13 years of experience in corporate law, secretarial audit, due diligence, mergers, acquisitions, and corporate restructuring. He is a founder and associate partner of BNext Corplaw LLP. He is known for his practical insights and strong regulatory knowledge and commitment to deliver high quality professional services. With that, I invite Sir you to take this session forward.
Hi, good morning. Hello. Hello, I am audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, welcome, sir. Before that, I would just want to put out to the participants that we try to keep it in English and Hindi for the benefit of also the non-Bhanushalis who are joining. But if we are going in a language which is bit more on a high class, please put it out on a chat and we'll put it more in Hindi if required. Yes, please feel free. પાંચો સેશન है અને આ લોકો કે લગે તો કડા બી પાંકે language change કરી જરૂર है કે we need to go a little slow, we can do that. Please come forward, જરા બી hesitate ના કરી જા, come up with your questions, and we've tried to record it so that we can make it available to you a little later also. Go ahead. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Hey, hi. Good morning. Ravina?
Yes, sir.
Am I clearly audible?
Yes, you are clearly audible.
Thank you so much. Hari Om Menike. Before I start my PPT, I would sincerely like to thank Bhanushali Chartered Accountants Forum and Shri Kachi Bhanushali Seva Samaj Trust, not for giving me this opportunity, but for bringing up a platform wherein everyone can share their knowledge, get connected to each other, network well, and grow collectively, supporting each other in a very healthy manner. So today, thank you, Ravina, for giving an introduction. And is share screen allowed to me so that I'll start and share my PPT?
Yes, sir, you can share your screen.
Is this fairly visible?
Yes, it's visible.
So this session or this particular presentation from my side is on a subject which is very highly discussed in numbers these days, is Companies Compliance Facilitation Scheme 2026. Also a scheme which has got its own nickname very soon, that is CCFS 2026. And this scheme is something which everyone always waits, because we in this 13 years of my experience, I've seen people missing out compliances. And then the only excuse that we all have is that the additional fee is very high and we wait for a beautiful amnesty scheme to come. And this is where it is. This is an amnesty scheme launched by Ministry of Corporate Affairs in 2026. And this scheme starts from 15th of April 26 and it will end on 15th of July 26. So far, this is the period which has been defined in this scheme. I'm not pretty sure how the response would be, but I'm expecting the response would be really good. And if the website technical issues, everything gets solved easily, then we could not expect an extension in it. But yes, if the site or if there is any technical issue or a legal glitch which comes, we can definitely expect an extension to this scheme further. But for now, so far, so good. It is 15th of April 26 to 15th of July 26. We also need to understand before jumping into CCFS 2026, what has been an objective of the department or the regulator, that is MCA in this. So it is, you can say it is an opportunity given, because right now, if you see, there is a complete focus on transparency, complete focus on making things online, and this is a period of AI. So during this period, it is very important for you, for the companies, that is private limited, limited, listed, unlisted, etc. So this is the, this is an embed given to them, wherein they want to cover and give you an opportunity to correct what all wrong you have done in the past. So that if department is coming up with some new amendments, or if they are coming up with some new initiative, they come up when people have entered into this with clean hands. They don't want to enter or take it up to a you can say they do not want to see it coming in a wrong way, because right now the ROC in last 2-3 years, or the MCA in last 2-3 years, if you guys would have observed, they have made many things online, or it has come to a centralized system. We have what you say, incorporations getting online from specified centers. We have fast-track exits going centralized. We have other forms getting centralized. So now, what is the next step that ROC can come up with? So ROC can definitely use the powers which they have under Companies Act and come with adjudications, come with investigations, etc. So before they start this, I think so this is an opportunity, and the objective of CCFS is that when they come up with these initiatives, majority of the companies have cleaned up themselves and they go ahead. And not only this, not only for active, they have also brought up the scheme for defunct companies and also the companies which have missed annual filing and want to go for closure. So they have tried to cover these both entities. Now, is this the first time that MCA has come up with an amnesty? The answer is no. This amnesty also has a history like everyone has. So first time the amnesty scheme, the data which is available online and we could fetch out, had come in 2003, followed by 2010, 11, 14, 18, 20, and now the 26. So it has an history. We have seen it very well that at the point when the scheme ends, definitely MCA has some action plans planned and they go ahead with it. So the same can be expected in 2026 scheme also, CCFS 2026. Once the scheme will end, definitely MCA and ROC has a further action plans already in place. Now, before we go ahead, let us understand what the statistics say. We have all been listening to, there are private limiteds, there are unlisted public companies, there are Section 8 companies, there are listed entities, etc. But what is the actual number and stats is reflected in this slide. This is the database which we have pulled from an authentic source or a publication by MCA itself. As on 31st March 26, before the scheme was launched, total companies registered with MCA is around 30 lakhs. So we have 30 lakhs companies, that is 30,53,712 private limited registered companies in India. Out of which the count of active companies is 20,36,641. So in a nutshell, this scheme is somewhat available for this active companies, which the number which I've stated is 20,36,641. It's a big number. The number of professionals available practicing into it versus the active companies, so number is big. It's a big one-time opportunity for 2026 for the professionals to set their business well, to provide the services well, and also a big opportunity for the companies to clean up if there has been any intentional or unintentional misouts. With this, the question again comes that yes, this 20,36,641 companies is the total count. How do I come to know that yes, I have missed some filing and this filing can be done, or there hasn't been a non-compliance and I can avail the facilities under CCFS 2026. So here in the right side, we have shared one pathway that you can just simply go on MCA website by typing www.mca.gov.in. You will find a tab which says MCA service. Once you go to MCA service, you will find FO service and then you find check annual filing status. Once you click on check annual filing status, you will get a search window, search bar, wherein you can just simply type the name of your company and submit. You will find the database of what is the status of annual filing for your company and what all filings you have missed and whether you can file those missed filing under CCFS scheme, yes or no. So that's how a very simplified way of checking is already provided. The pathway I've shared, I'll definitely share this pathway with the participants if permitted after the meeting so that they can also go and check it on their own. And there's no need for them to search around whether any compliances are there or not. It's a very simple way you can go and check and avail this facility. Ravina, so far so good. Am I going too fast?
No, sir, perfect.
Okay, thank you so much, Ravina. Now, also I've shared in the earlier slide, we have shared that how you can go and check whether you have missed any filing or not. But yes, along with that, it is very important for us being professionals or a corporate to know whether the scheme is applicable to me, yes or no. So the very first question is whether this is applicable to all companies. Then answer is yes. The very subsequent or the followed question comes that I am a company which is formed under 1956 or 1913 Act or 1919 Act. So how is it? So yes, it is applicable to all the private limited entities, whether you are formed under companies, all the companies formed under 2013 Act, 1956 or any previous company law. Who will avail CCFS facility? So yes, defaulting companies who have missed their filings. Which forms are covered or not, I'll cover in the earlier next slide. The status of the company, active and inactive company, you will find it on the master data of your company and the status very well we are aware. And also for the companies who are intending to apply for dormant status. So this is applicable to them. Now, to whom it is not applicable? So the very first stage is the companies who have already applied for striking off. What is striking off? It is a voluntary application made by the companies themselves or a process which is initiated by ROC. And you have already made an application there and your company is about to strike off or the application is already under process. Same way, if you have received a notice from ROC and they are following the process to strike your company in, then that companies are not covered. And the third type of company is companies who have already applied for voluntary winding up. So if you see it to whom it is not applicable, so basically it is to someone who has already taken the corrective measures to close their company. So to them it is not applicable. Now what is in the scheme for me is again a question. So you have three options. Option one is you go ahead, file all the pending returns, relevant e-forms they have already given. And when you file this, anyone, either it be me or you, or it be any professional or any corporate who wants to go ahead, why would I avail an amnesty scheme? So the answer to it is yes, you get a very heavy discount. So you get a 90% waiver, a 90% discount on the additional fee which is coming to you. For example, if the additional fee without this amnesty is 1 lakh rupees, with this scheme, CCFS and amnesty, the additional fee would be only 10,000. So you are saving 90,000. So first thing is you have done a non-compliance. You are a defaulter, whether it is willful or it is an unintentional one. But still you are getting a discount of 90%. That's the highest in the market, I understand, with if you compare it under B2C, B2B, or any type of business. Option 2 is you apply for a dormant status. So you become a dormant company. There is this e-form available for it. It is e-form MSC1. You apply for it. And this form also you get 50% discount on your normal fee also. So in the first option, you have no discounts on your normal fee, but in dormant status, you have a discount for your normal fee also. So herein again, you have two options. One is you get your non-compliance cleared and then go for dormant application. Or if you feel that, yes, I have no business or no further future plans for say 2 years, 3 years or 5 years, you can definitely go and make an application for dormant company and avail this 50% discount there as well. Option number 3 is for companies who want to go for striking off. Now, if you see the normal fee pattern of ROC, ideally it goes maximum to 600 rupees, depending upon the capital of the company. But if you go and file the strike off application, which is again in the form of STK2, the normal fee for this form itself is 10,000 rupees. So a company which is not doing a business wants to go ahead for closure, has to file a fee of 10,000 rupees. At times, this also becomes a hiccup, or this also becomes an hurdle for a decision making from a promoter, because someone whose company or whose business is not running well or wants to close up, wrap up, they see this 10,000 also as a big burden on them. For them, also the scheme covers those type of companies or those type of applications also in form STK2, wherein you get 75% discount. So out of 10,000 as your normal fee, you would only pay 75%. 75% would be waived. You will only pay 25%. So out of 10,000, you will only pay 2,500 on that form, and you can go ahead for closure. Now, herein again, in my earlier slide, I shared with you guys that to whom it is not applicable. So yes, it is not applicable to company who have already filed this e-form STK2. But herein, in this case, if you have not filed it and you are waiting for something or some kind of amnesty or a discount, this is again an opportunity for you to file it at the price of only 2,500 a form. Again, similar way, a series of questions pop up. And herein, they have said which all forms are covered in this. So earlier we tried or I tried to explain you that which all type of entities are getting covered, who can avail this. Now herein, which all forms can be availed? Is it a Pandora box for you that you get all the e-forms waived, or very selective e-forms are provided to you under CCFS scheme? So herein you have only 20 forms covered in this scheme, which you can file and avail the benefit of the discounts which are given. Overall, what are the number of e-forms available for filing? It is approximately 100 e-forms, out of which you have got 20 e-forms under this CCFS scheme, which you can file, avail, and take this discount. Now here again a question comes that when you see, or if I have this professional, you would be aware the forms such as AOC, AOC4, CFS, MGT, 20B, MGT 7, 7A, etc. There are many forms which are regular forms. Now when I say regular forms, is something that every entity once in a while files in a year, such as DI 12 for change in directors. You are going ahead for borrowings, you are going and making changes in your borrowing, that is modification, creation of charge, or satisfaction. You file DI 12, CHG1, CHG4. These forms are not covered. Basically, ROC or MCA, I understand, wanted to focus more on the bigger chunk of e-forms which are filed according to the algos applied by them in the database available, and because of which the other regular forms which I could recollect and we have tried to cover in this slide, where MGT 14, which is filed for all activities under 179 or as specified under Companies Act, DIN KYC, cost auditor appointment, their reports, DPT3, which is an immediate timeline by 30th of June. You have PAS 6, which has been a biggest topic of discussion for last couple of years because it is always linked with ISIN numbers. GNL, which has been a big time discussion whenever there has been an application or there is an application to be made for extension. And then 28, change of registered office, allotment, increase in authorized. So these are regular forms. But in this scheme, government has specifically excluded these forms also and tried to cover the major chunk as per their database, which they can go ahead and provide this scheme to every one of us. Till the previous slide, what I've tried to cover is what CCFS scheme has been offering and what all things are getting covered, what is not covered, what type of entities are covered, what type of forms are covered, and if you go ahead with it, what is the discount or what is the benefits that you can avail. Along with that, in this slide, what we have done is when the CCFS scheme had come, identification of your company and a non-compliance to it was very easy because MC has already provided the path for it, which I had explained in my earlier slide, that you just go on MCA services, click on FO service, click on your check annual filing status, and you come to know whether your company is complied or not. But what we as a BNext found that or basically we the partners or founders of BNext found something which was missing is how do you calculate a fee or how do you calculate a discounted fee, etc. Because there is no calculation, no path or no ready available calculator was given. So we made a small attempt to just Ravina, can you mute someone? Yeah. So what we did was we have developed an MCA CCFS fee calculator for the entire fraternity, and I understand this is first of its kind which has come, and also we have made it available for free so that any company who identifies that yes, we have done a non-compliance and now they want to understand what is the fee applicable to them, what is the discount that these guys are or these corporates are receiving under the scheme. So I'll just show a demo. Ravina, just I'll take up the demo here. It will not take much of the time, but just let me know if this is properly visible or not.
Sure.
For using this calculator, Ravina, is the screen available or are we still seeing the PPT only?
We are still seeing the PPTs.
PPT, okay. Just a minute. Now is it the website?
No, not yet. Yeah, now we can see it.
It is cool. Yeah. So you just need to go search on Google. I'll show it here. You open any of the browsers that you are using. Search for bnextco.in. The moment you go on this website, you see our homepage, and here under this head, you see a CCFS calculator. Just click on that calculator. Basic details you are supposed to fill. Considering the privacy concerns that corporates or professionals may have while using this, we have not asked for any data, any name, SIN numbers of your companies or corporates. It is only an open database which you can, we have asked for open data which you can use. For example, one of the forms which is getting covered, herein you can select the forms which is getting covered. So I'll select MGT 7, which is for annual return filing. Herein you will have to mention the authorized capital of your company. For example, the authorized capital of my company is 1 crore. What was the date of AGM? Let's consider the date of AGM to be September 30th 24. And what is your filing date? So definitely your filing date would be during this period of scheme, which starts from 15th of April and ends on 15th of July. So I'll take a date of say 30th of April. After doing this, you just need to click on calculate fees. Here you have the entire data available. So due date for your MGD 7 was 28/11/24. Delays with which your company is dealing with is 518 days. Normal fee as per your authorized capital is 600 rupee. Additional fee, if this would have not been filed under CCFS, the additional fee would have been 51,800. Under the CCFS scheme, you will get your amount that is 5,180, which is approximately 90% waiver. So total fee payable, that is your normal fee and CCFS, is 5,780 instead of approximately 52,400. So what is the amount that you save under this scheme is 46,620. So this is for single e-form I am talking about. That is only for MGT 7. If you have missed MGT 7, there are highly and likely chances of missing AOC 4 as well. So 46 into 2 is approximately 90,000 that you save. Now the next question comes. After this calculation, how do you want to present it? You can just click on print and save this PDF. Again, when you save this PDF, this, as I have highlighted, that this is an initiative that BNext wants to contribute towards the love that we have received from the corporates and our professionals. And this is what we want to give you back. So herein also, likewise, you would have visited other websites. You will always find people asking for your credentials, people asking for email IDs, people asking for, or these websites ask you for corporate details. Herein, we have not asked for anything. You can simply save this PDF and share it with your clients, share it with your bosses, share it with your promoters, directors, whomsoever you want. And it is easily available in a simplistic, presentable manner. Along with that, we have just given an add-on benefit that if in case you are also confused in finding what is the due dates for me, which we have tried to cover here under the head, but also for other forms, you can just select your date of AGM and you will get that detail as well. So here, ideally on your AGM date, we have these 3 forms. You get the date here, again a ready available data you have and you can use it. Once you click here, again print and save PDF, and this entire detail is easily accessible to you and you can save it on your website. To find this calculator, you'll have to, again, I'm repeating the process, you'll have to open up any browser, search for our website, that is bnextco.in. Do not get confused for bnext.co.in. It is bnextco.in. You can go there, search for this calculator and use it. And I understand MCA has also not launched it. So we have it here and we are keeping it open for everyone who wants to access. Now, at times it will happen that you will come here, you will calculate the fee. You may or may not, you would not be able to find a CCFS scheme circular. So it is also available here. You can just click on the circular and the MCA circular is available in front of you. So we have tried to keep it very simple for you. Slowly, gradually, this PPT will also be available on this page so that you get more insights and idea on it and you can use this. Ravina, again, is PPT available?
Yes, sir. It's
Visible?
available. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, let's also understand some gaps. or let's understand some ground level reality, what's happening. So this scheme, CCFS, first of all, I understand, and this is my personal opinion, that it should have come for all the forms which are pending. But yes, MCA has focused only on companies which have missed annual filing or missed the bigger chunk of forms which are getting uploaded. This circular does not address what happens or what is the case when you have not conducted AGM also. What will happen if the financials were not signed at that point in time, or the financials were signed or UDIN was not generated, etc. This scheme has been launched assuming that all all compliances other than e-form filing has been complied with, which I fail to understand why this understanding has come. Because if a company is actually done an AGM, if they have done all the compliances good, there is very, very minuscule chance of these companies missing out on filing a form. So they should have given a better leeway like they have given in all the earlier schemes. So that's how it is. But what's the reality? So reality is that yes, this scheme is for partially compliant companies. This scheme is not at all practical for companies who are actually willful defaulters. And core issue which we feel is under the reality is that the governance and audit delays have remained unresolved in it. So CCFS schemes is solving compliance delays, or actually is it overlooking deeper compliance failures, is again a question to us as well. And that's how it is. A cautioning point here. If like for this presentation also, we were researching a lot on what is something that we can add value to you guys during our presentation on understanding what can be the future outlook or what is legislative outlook to this, because this scheme is very easy to understand. So we have tried to show you the scheme or this presentation with the factual numbers available. But underlying statement or the major difference for this CCFS with all the earlier amnesties which have been coming since 2003, first is that this CCFS scheme is only and only focusing on getting your forms filed, getting your basics right by giving you waiver under the additional fees which are levied. That is point one. This is not giving you any immunity from what you say, any adjudications happening, any compounding or any ROC action which they may take. Earlier, all the amnesties after completion of amnesty or during the amnesty schemes, they had always given you a form which is an immunity form, which you file and avail an immunity. But this is the scheme which is not giving you any of this option. So a question again remains open, is that whether after filing all the forms in this scheme also, will ROC take action against all these willful defaulters, or give them a complete immunity for the forms filed during this period, or the forms which are filed during this period has a complete immunity for future? This is something which they have kept very open, because since 2003, all the amnesty schemes have given an option of an immunity which a defaulting company can avail. Second thing that they have not highlighted here is the DIR3 forms, that is KYC forms. What happens if you are a defaulting director? You are a disqualified director. You are still in the company. You are not required to vacate. The company because of which you are disqualified, you need to continue into that company, etc. what happens with those directors, whether they lift up the corporate veil, give them and consider them as an officers in default, anything, any of such kind is not covered. Along with that, you will see or you would have noticed that this is the first of its kind scheme which was launched so earlier before its start date. So if you see, this is announced somewhere in mid-Feb, and the scheme is applicable in April 26, approximately 2 months after the scheme has been launched. This is for the first time MCA has given it, because ideally all the departments, even for extensions, they give it at the very last day, last minute. But this time they have given it 2 months before. So there is a preparedness which was expected, and they have come up with this amendment bill also, in which they have made things stricter with respect to the companies which are going non-compliance. Yes, definitely you'll see all the videos, you'll see all the content which is coming up is about the waivers given to CSR, etc., etc. But something which has gone underrated and unobserved is, along with that, they have proposed many amendments which are strengthening and giving powers to ROC to take actions against the defaulting companies. So for this year, my understanding to this scheme is that yes, ROC MCA has shown us a very glossy picture by launching the CCFS scheme 2026, and definitely will save up 90% of our additional fee. And everyone has been, attracted towards the 90% discount, because we are going for an online shopping here, and we are availing and seeing 90% discount. But yes, this 90% discount may or may not come with a, because herein you will not get a refund or return policies available. So yes, this scheme is a good scheme. Everyone should focus on it. Get your compliance good. Try to be in the compliant phase rather than non-compliant phase, because with these amendments coming in, with things getting centralized and ROCs getting their own adjudication authorities or powers, after the scheme, you will definitely see action coming up. And one few of these actions we are expecting is that in 2016 and 20, when these schemes were closed, ROC had disqualified all the defaulting directors, had run a campaign of striking of the companies who have not availed this scheme. So these were two schemes, but this time I understand they'll not focus more on one and two, but they'll focus on the third option, that they'll take actions, legal actions against these defaulters. And if you see the last page and the last clause of this scheme, it also says that this is a chance, get your compliance good. If you're not doing it, ROCs are open to take legal action. So yes, this scheme is very nice. You get 90% discount, you get 75% discount, you get 50% discount on almost 20 to 22 forms. But yes, if you miss, I hit. And this is a kind of a Yorker bold by the MCA. If you play it, you look dirty. If you leave it, you are clean bold. So with this, I would take it up to Ravina. If you have any questions, we can take Q&A, or else I'll go ahead and thank you all.
Anyone, if you have any question, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask. Is there any questions?
Ravina,
I
I think
believe
so. I have explained it very
yes.
well.
Yes, that's what
That
my words were. You have explained it in a detailed and well-structured manner, so I believe there are no questions. Even in the case you have any question, please feel free to contact and just drop your questions, and we would be available and answering all the questions and queries related to this. Thank you so much, sir, for your really informative and well-structured session.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so much.
Ravina. You have been a good host and moderator for today's meeting. Before I thank everyone, I would once again like to thank the entire team of Bhanushali Chartered Accountants Forum BCAF and also Sri Bhanushali Kachi Seva Samaj Trust for bringing up this opportunity of building this platform wherein we professionals can connect, help each other, add value to each other's life, and try to be connected, grow together. So thank you once again. If you have any queries, you can pop up or you can write it to Ravina or BCF team or the way Ravina would explain you. So you can take it up there and we are available and happy to solve it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, sir. Now, it's time to honor our second esteemed speaker, CS Satish Bhanushali. He is chairman of Dombivli Chapter Office, ICSI WRC, and an active member of Sri Kachi Bhanushali Seva Samaj Trust, author of Authoram Education Trust, and Bhanushali Chambers of Commerce. He is a seasoned professional. He brings with him an extensive experience in SEBI laws, LODR regulation, adjudication matters, along with a rich practical experience and insights. With this, I invite you, sir, to take the session forward.
Hi, good morning all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're perfectly clear.
So thank you, Ravina. And before we start this session, I want to thank BCF for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present and take a session on adjudication versus compounding. So before I start now, it is become a little bit difficult to give a presentation after such a powerful speaker, Mr. Himanshu Gajra, and he has given a different prospect of authority where authority is helping to you to do a compliances, get a compliances done and save yourself from adjudication or compounding, which are a little bit harsh part to take. And now I have to give a different prospect altogether of authority. So if you make any non-compliances, how authority will look into this non-compliances, how they will catch you, how they will charge you penalty, and it will be a altogether different prospect of authority. So shall I beginning with my presentation? Ravina, I'm just sharing a screen. Just let me know whether my screen is visible or not.
Sure, sir. Your screen is visible, sir.
Yeah, Ravina, my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
So let's begin then. Adjudication versus compounding. So before I directly jump into the adjudication versus compounding, how adjudication come into picture, and I want to just give you the little bit background. So there was a committee, JJ Irani committee. So there was a Jamshedji Irani committee, who is looked at how the penalties have been defined under Companies Act, how culture is being. So they have come up with a certain report, and as per their report, it was like in an old act or you can come in a new act for a small minor. If you make a small minor mistake, so you will be categorized as the one second, Ravin, I'm facing some technical issue.
Sure, sir. Take your time.
Yeah. So my PPT page is visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So sorry. So if you see the old act in the 1956, so if you make a small and very minor mistake like filing a form where you have to do some little bit tick box and you have incorrectly ticked that tick box, you either writing a yes, you have selected no, so it will be considered as a criminal offense. So penalty was very heavy, process was very lengthy. So same pointer has taken and put in front of the authorities by JJ committee that penalty has to be decriminalized, penalty has to be rational, by it has to link with your gravity of non-compliances. Just having a small mistake in a filing form, it should not be like you should like look like a criminal prosecution. So same was mentioned and same report was presented by Jamshed J. Irani committee. Post that there was one analysis and one more committee was formed, and they have also presented their view. So in old Companies Act 1956, that OP versus committee was formed, and OP versus committee has submitted his view on the penalties. So if you see, and I have given us some statistics. So in old Companies Act, if you see, the on an average fine was collected from the person who has made the default, it was like 2,247 rupees. And to collect that fine, the government was spending around 573 rupees. So it was approx, you can see to it, they are around 40 to 50% they are spending to collect the fine amount. And government has too much of wider scope. It was too much of burden on government to collect the penalty. And case length was too high. It takes around 5 years to complete a single compounding application or single adjudication application. So this was the problem. I say this was the like a burden on government to start with the ease of doing business, and it was restricted somewhere. So that government took the initiative. They come up with the new Companies Act 2013. There, at the beginning, the act was a draconian, because in the act there are many penalty was imposed. It was a huge number. Then the act was slowly and gradually decriminalized. So act was slowly and gradually decriminalized. Number of penalty has been reduced. Number of you can say amount has been reduced. And doing this kind of steps in, you can say no, India in 2014, if I take care and if I see in 2014 as a rank, World Bank has issued their notice and issued a report where India was ranking around 142nd rank as ease of doing business. When we come up with the Companies Act 2004 to 2013, you can see many of the compliances were reduced, many of the sections were decriminalized, and it gave a boost to ease of doing business. So in 2020, India ranked to 63rd. So we rank and we increase our position by 79 numbers. So it was a very good improvement by concerning about ease of doing business. We were recognized among top 10 improver in a 3 consecutive year. Around 39,000 compliances were reduced and simplified. 3,900 legal provision under Companies Act were decriminalized, like decriminalized where you no, it was like you have to make a you have to pay a penalty, as well as you will be liable for imprisonment. So same has been changed from imprisonment has been reduced, imprisonment has been removed, and only penalty has been kept in this section. So by doing this all or taking these all efforts, we ranked 67th position as a ease of doing business, and which fulfill a motto of our Prime Minister. So this is a certain quote which I like to present in front of you, which has been given by our Honorable Prime Minister. So, love, you can see the change. We can feel the change. So how world is changing fast. So to gear up with the world, to catch the speed of world, uh, government has taken a many initiative, and many rapid changes has been initiated and being implemented by the government. We have reduced penalties. We have going ahead with the tough compliances. We have reduced the compliances. Many a penalty were decriminalized. So stage is now set. Now we have to run like a bullet train. by taking government initiatives. So now I'm coming to again my topic around adjudication versus compounding. So this is just one slide as of now, just for a reference. So we can come back to this slide again. But as of now, just wanted to put in front of you 10 new ROCs being appointed, 3 new regional director being appointed, and same are being effective. Their offices are being start from 16th February 2026. So in nutshell, in India, as of now, there are 35 ROC, 10 RD, 1 CRC, 1 CSC, and 1 CPC. So the Central Registration Center, which work for incorporation of company, Central Scrutiny Center, which work for the scrutiny of your forms. Whatever forms you filed with ROC, that all forms are being scrutinized by the Central Scrutiny Center. And third one is the Central Processing Center. So this center is processing the form. Whatever form we file, they fetch the form and they send it to the registrar, Central Registry Center for approval, or Central Scrutiny Center for the scrutiny of the form. So just hold on for this slide. I will come to I will come back again on this page. Why the number of ROCs being increased, why number of RDs are being increased, why three different different setup are being set up by the government. So as of now, if in India, when it comes to Companies Act, there are two different setup. When you make any non-compliances or you are not been able to fulfill the requirement of the act, so you can either choose to go for a compounding offense, and second one is adjudication of offenses. So these are the two processes which you can follow in a compounding. So let's start with the compounding of offense. So in a compounding offense, there is a threshold has been mentioned. When you go for a compounding offense, you have two options. Either you can file application with RD or you can file application with NCLT. So how you are going to determine whether I have to file application with RD or I have to file application with NCLT? So simple answer is when your fine amount is more than 25 lakhs. I again repeating, if your fine amount is more than 25 lakhs, then you have to make an application with the RD. If your fine amount is more than 25 lakh, then you have to make an application with an NCLT for your compounding of offense. So how fines are being calculated? So in when you make any non-compliances, so when you read this section, so in the section there will be a penalty or fine amount would have been mentioned. So you have to calculate that what the non-compliance have made, whether in the section there are any fines or penalties are being mentioned. If fines or penalty are being mentioned, how much fine or how much penalty I have to make and payment. So based on that, you can determine, and if your amount goes above the 25 lakhs, you have to make an application with NCLT. If your fine amount is less than 25 lakhs, then you have to make an application with the regional director. Now question comes, how I can make an application for compounding my offense. So process is quite simple. You have to first put the non-compliances in front of your board of directors. You have to pass a board resolution that company has accepted. They have made these non-compliances. Now they want to go ahead and file a compounding application. You pass the board resolution, give authority to your board or your consultant or your legal person who will going to present the company before the RD. Once you pass the board resolution, now you have to make an application. You can make an application with the RD in form GNL1. Once you make an application with the GNL1, you will get a hearing notice from the RD. You have to go and attend the hearing. Once you attend the hearing, your case will be heard by the RD. Based on your presentation or based on your submission, RD will levy a penalty on you. You have to make a payment of your penalty. Once you make the penalty, and then you have to make the payment of you have to upload the one more form that is INC 28, where you need to attach the order passed by the RD and the receipts of you have made the payment. Once you file the form INC 28, once it get approved, so your process comes to an end over here. Bhavina, so far so good?
All good, sir.
So this was the process by which you can compound your offense. Now going ahead with the adjudication process. So same like in adjudication. Adjudication ideally or generally is initiated by the ROC. ROC generally send you the notice where you have made the non-compliances. So he will issue a show cause notice to you. You have to go through with the show cause notice. You can once you go through with the show cause notice and you are knowing that you have made these non-compliances, you have to accept that. If you are and if you are sure you are not made that non-compliances, then you have to make a reply to a show cause notice. Based on your reply, ROC will give you a hearing notice. Hearing notice, he will heard you, or and based on your arguments, based on your submission, ROC will pass an order. Once he pass an order, it will be either in your favor or either will not be in your favor. If it is not in your favor, then you have to make a payment of order fine, whatever charged by the ROC. They will levy a penalty on you and you have to make a payment. Once you make a payment, then again you have to file a form INC 28 with the authority attaching ROC order, simultaneously penalty levied by the ROC. And if you are not satisfied with the order issued by the ROC, then you can make an appeal with the RD. So you can make an appeal with the RD by filing form with the RD, and RD will again take care of again will start the process. He will look into order passed by the ROC if he is not, and then you have to put your arguments in front of RD. If RD is satisfied with your argument, he will surpass the order passed by the ROC and he will give you the fresh order. To file and make an application with RD for appeal, you have to file a form ADJ within 60 days from the date of order passed by the ROC. So this is about adjudication. Now question comes, what is the difference between adjudication and compounding? Or whether should I, and next question, can I make a suo motu application with ROC for adjudication of my non-compliances? Then answer is yes, you can make an suo motu application for a non-compliance with the ROC for adjudication. Now question comes, okay, should I go with adjudication or should I file a compounding of offense with the RD or NCLT? So answer to this question is like when you reading the section and in a section, if word penalty has been mentioned, I am just again re-emphasizing on this. If in a section word penalty is mentioned, then your offense is adjudicable. Then you can make an application with ROC for adjudication of your order. And whereas in a section fine word is been mentioned, fine or imprisonment is mentioned, then you have to compulsory go with RD for compounding or offense, or if your penalty amount is or your fine amount is more than 25 lakh, then you have to make an application to NCLT. So now there are again debate is going on. So in 2019 there were certain sections were decriminalized. So earlier it fine were mentioned and then fine has been replaced with the word penalty. So question was whether I can do a adjudication application or so I go with a compounding or offenses. So over here there are different stands are being taken by different ROCs. So whereas in comes to Mumbai ROC, he is okay. You are making a non-compliances or adjudication application today. In today section is mentioned penalty, so you can file an adjudication application. And some ROC has taken a stand when you made the non-compliances, like 2016 or 2017, you have made the non-compliances, and at that time, word penalty, at that time fine was mentioned. So at that time fine was mentioned, so you have to go and do your offense compound with the NCLT. So these are the different, I say, different stands being taken by the different ROC and different RDs. So before, just a recommendation, before you start a process or which way to take, you need to meet your ROC, take his view whether I can go ahead with a compounding application or should I go with adjudication. If your ROC is okay to accept your application, then start processing adjudication application and submit your entire process, which I have already been explained. Initiate the process, submit the document with ROC. ROC will heard you and he will issue a notice. He will issue an order. So I already explained the key difference between adjudication and the compounding. The process being explained by me. These are the practical tips. Now this is a little bit interesting. These are, I have summarized certain case laws and certain orders which are recently being issued by the ROC in the matter of adjudication. So this is the first case law where Pune ROC has taken a very Pune ROC has levied a penalty on a company. So summary of the case is like a company has issued the company was incorporated, and company was incorporated, as you are all aware, once a company get incorporated, you have to issue a share certificate to the subscriber of MOA. In this case, company has not issued a share certificate to the subscriber of MOA. So your timeline is you have to issue a share certificate within 2 months from the date of incorporation. In this case, company has not issued a share certificate within 2 months from the date of incorporation. And there is a default, like company was incorporated in 12th of October 2023 and issued a share certificate with 14th December 2023. So there is a delay or there is issue a share certificate beyond the limit mentioned. So case was heard by the ROC and ROC has levied a penalty of rupees 50,000 on company and on director rupees 50,000 each. So total penalty was levied around 1,50,000. So we all are doing incorporation, and no, this is became now a little bit, I guess, alarming, or it became a little bit stringent. We have to take care. Okay, we should issue a share certificate within 2 months. So now again, question comes to you to issue a share certificate 2 months. So I have issued a share certificate within 2 months. So how ROC will come to know, okay, I have issued within 2 months or I have not issued within 2 months. So thing is that they are judging on the based on stamp duty you have paid. So once you issue a share certificate, you need to pay a stamp duty on share certificate. So you cannot generate a backdated stamp paper, or you cannot generate the backdated stamp duty payment receipt. So you have to, over here, we have to take a cautious that we issue a share certificate within 2 months and we make the payment of stamp duty within 2 months. Now let's come to another case law. So this is again very interesting case law. This has been issued by the Chandigarh ROC, where company has not maintained the minutes according to requirement of section 118. So just a non-maintaining of minutes, they have in observation what they have observed. The minutes are not serially numbered. Time of conclusion were not mentioned. Page number were not mentioned on the minutes page, and date were missing. So from this case law, you can see how authorities are become so vibrant now and so vigilant now. How deep they are going into the records which you are being submitted with the ROC or with the authorities. So they are minorly scrutinizing all the things. And in this case, they have minorly scrutinized all the things. They have found out the non-compliance and they have levied the penalty. They have levied penalty of 20,000 on the company and both the director, and there were 8 directors. So they have levied penalty of 5,000 on each director. The total penalty amount goes to 40,000. Just for not mentioning date and serial number and page number. So this is again a very interesting case. So in this case, company has filed AOC 4. Okay. So while filing AOC 4, they are inadvertently marked at one of the requirement whether secretarial audit is applicable to company or not. So company has inadvertently marked a no. However, secretarial audit was applicable to company. So making this kind of small error in while filing AOC 4, then ROC noticed that they are required to mark yes, they have marked a no. So ROC issued show cause notice to the company, and they have given opportunity to hear. Company has accepted the mistake, and the penalty was levied 10,000 on a company and 10,000 rupee on each director. There were 8 directors, so they were supposed to pay a penalty of 80,000. So now, now you can analyze, okay, making a small mistake while filing AOC 4. This is being again captured by the government, and it is being then you will get a show cause notice, and then process will be go on. You have to make a payment of penalty, and this will be inadvertently hamper your image as a consultant, hamper your image to the company. So we have to now be a little bit cautious while filing a form with ROC, while filing any kind of document with the government. And government has increased, or you might have realized in a V3 portal, they have increased the n number of asks from us, and they have moved to like filing a form to reading a form or analyzing form in a Web3 portal. They are asking each and every detail in a text mode. So they have implemented AI or implemented new software, data analysis software in their web page. Just you make a mistake and you will get auto-generated notice. So this is how government is going. This is how ROCs are being strengthened. So now we have to strengthen ourselves and not to make such mistakes while filing a form with a ROC. This is again now interesting case. It's a case related to Sun Pharma company. So what Sun Pharma has done, they have appointed a director and they have filed a form DR12, which is required to be filed, and they have filed within 30 days. However, while filing a form DR12 in a form, there are no, ideally we have perception that wherever asterisk mark is there, we have to file that information only. If asterisk mark is not there, we are not supposed to make, or we are not required to file this information. These are the optional information. The same stand were taken by these Sun Pharma, and they have filed the form DR12. However, ROC has a different prospect. While scrutiny of this form DR12, director was a director in many a company. So while giving his interest disclosure, so over there you have to make, and you have to put a information how many number of shares or percentage of shares you are holding in any other company. So considering this information optional, company has not filed the detail, but ROC has taken a stand that if you are a director in any other company, so over there you have to mandatorily fill this information. If you are not a director in any other company and you are getting appointed in this company first time, then this become optional. So no, you can now understand the gravity, how uh, now how penny information is being moderated or being scrutinized by the ROC. It was just a simple information which company was supposed to fill, but however company has taken different stand. Yeah, this is optional information, but ROC is taking stand, this is a mandatory information. They have levied a penalty of rupees 3 lakh on a company, and on each director rupee 1 lakh. So there were total 6 lakhs. So there were total 6 directors, and they have made the penalty of rupees 6 lakh. So nutshell, they have made the penalty of rupees 9 lakh just to not have put information about the number of shares or percentage of shares held by the director in any other company. Now, this is a recent order being passed by the Pune ROC, where a person name is Deepak, who is holding a 2 DIN. So as per the section, a person cannot hold a 2 DIN. So he was holding a 2-din and ROC has issued a show cause notice to him stating that you are holding a 2-din, you have to compound or you have to make an adjudication application. He filed the adjudication application. So in holding a 2-din, minimum penalty is rupees 50,000 and 5,000 per day till the time you are holding a 2-din. So total penalty amount was rupees 3,89,500. So he plead before the ROC, just reduce the penalty. ROC accepted that, and 50% of total amount of penalty was levied on him. So the total penalty amount became 1,94,750 just to holding a 2-din. I know this is a system glitch. If you are already holding a DIN, how you will get another DIN? Government should have not issued you the due deed. It's a technical issue from the government side. However, ROC is not accepting this kind of argument. Government ROC is straightforward saying that it's your responsibility. You have to check that before applying a new DIN, whether you are holding a DIN. You have made the application, government has approved that. That means you have made the non-compliances of section 155, and you have to make a penalty. So this is like a very interesting case. Now you have to go and check a person holding a 2-din, make sure he make an application, he surrender 1-din, and before receiving a show cause notice from the ROC, matter get escalated. To avoid all this thing, you go and surrender before the ROC, stating that I have a 2-din, I want to surrender my 1-din. Maybe no, ROC will levy lesser number of penalty to around 10%, and you will get yourself immune from the receiving of show cause notices from the authorities. So again, now this is again a very, very interesting case. So question is whether ROC can initiate adjudication process when third parties are making complaint against you. So this is a case in a Kerala where one of the company who is delivering, like a company name is Tulip Elastic Private Limited, who is the creditor of Blissful Garment Private Limited, who has supplied goods to the company, and Tulip Elastic is a MSME registered company. It's a small company. And it was a creditor of Blissful Garment Private Limited. He has supplied the goods to Bismil, and as per MSME Act, the Blissful was supposed to make a payment to the company, SME company, within a 45 day, and he has not made the payment to him. He made the default in making payment to the Tulip. So, as per the regulation, if you are delaying making payment to MSME company, then you are supposed to file a form MSME 1 with the ROC. This is a half-yearly filing requirement within the 60 days from the completion of half year. So what Tulip did, Tulip took the search of that company, and company has not made the payment. Our company has not uploaded the form MSME 1. So Tulip has made the complaint in the ROC. Okay, company, I am a MSME company. Company has made the default in a payment to me. However, company has not filed the MSME 1. So ROC looked at the matter. ROC issued a show cause notice to the Blissful, stating that why you are not filed the MSME 1. Blissful accepted that, this Tulip is MSME company. He is our vendor, and we have made the default in a making payment to him. However, he has not given the reason for non-filing of MSME 1. The ROC adjudicate the matter, and he levied a penalty, I guess say huge penalty of 16 lakhs 9,000 rupee. So it's just a huge penalty ROC has levied for non-filing of form MSME 1 based on a complaint made by the third party. So over here, just one option we have. 99% we CA firm, CS firm are MSME registered company, registered firm, and any of the client or anyone who is not making payment to us, we have to keep moderating that, whether he's filing MSME 1 or not. If he's not filing MSME 1 and he's not mentioning our name, he is making default in our payment. So we can use this process to recover our debt or recover our amount. Again, this is again very interesting case. So Buildcon Finance Limited, this was the company. This summary of this case is the company ROC has issued a notice to this company, and notice was not accepted. Though you might be aware, ROC is sending a notice through speed post, and nobody is there at the registered office to accept the notice. The notices will come back to ROC. So in this case, ROC has issued a notice to the company, and there was nobody was there at registered office to accept the notice, and notice became undelivered. So ROC took a stand that company is not maintaining the registered office, which is ideally required to maintain under section 12, and he issued again a so-cause notice and levied a penalty of rupees 3,80,000. No, 95,000 on company and on each director. The total amount goes to 3,80,000. Just one notice were sent to your registered office and it became undelivered. So whomsoever is having a company and has a registered office, let's make sure that your registered office is being operating. Any notices come to speed post, courier, or whatever means, it has to be accepted. And if it is not being accepted, so you know the consequences. ROC will issue again new show-cause notice, not maintaining of registered office, and they will straightforward levy a penalty. Again, this is again a very interesting case. So in this case, how thing will happen? Little Master has filed one application for compounding of offense under section 96 with the regional director. So while filing an application, he has submitted certain document. So RD scrutinized that document, and while scrutinizing document, he come to know certain information to be given on letterhead of the company as per section 12(1)(c) is being not mentioned. So he directed the person, okay, you first get it adjudicate this section. So it's like, you've gone for a compounding or one section and and he find out the non-compliance of any other section. So he directed him to just go and first get your section 12 section ka non-compliance adjudicate. Once you do the section 12 non-compliance adjudicate, then only I will compound your section 96. So while making an application with a RD or any authorities, make sure whatever document you are submitting are being properly drafted, are being properly checked, section 12 compliances are being done, or any other applicable provisions are being done, and your documents are well structured under the requirement of section or regulation. बाद में ऐसा ना हो जाएगा ना, जाना था जापान और पहुंच गए चीन और डबल पेनल्टी लेके बैठ गए. So to avoid this kind of errors or avoid this kind of problems, to get yourself like a daldal mein फंस गए, निकल ही नहीं पाएंगे बांधे. So it will open a floodgate. You will get many notices from the ROC, RD for making a more non-compliances. So make sure that whatever document or whatever application you are submitting are properly drafted, properly structured, and fulfilling the requirement of Act. So again, I was mentioning about floodgate. So over here in this section, what happened? Okay, now adjudication notice was sent to director for non-compliance section 12, 92, and 137. So while once the adjudication notice was sent, so it was ideally sent to company and sent to directors. So when the ROC sent these notices, the notices to director was undelivered. Okay, so notices to director was undelivered. So what was come to know, okay, director has changed his residential address from A to B. So he has changed the address. However, he has not informed to the authority by filing a DR6. So once a director changes address from any one place to another place, like point A to point B, so he have to inform to the government by filing DR6 that I have changed my address from A to B. He has not mentioned that. So ROC state that I have sent you notice was undelivered, you have not filed the form DR6, now do the adjudication of form DR6. then only I will start a process or initiate the process of non-compliances of section 12, 92 and 137. So it is again, opening of floodgate. So by not filing form DR6, he was levied a penalty of rupees 2,21,000 on each that amounting to rupees 4,42,000. So you can imagine how just not informing a change of address, how much penalty he levied on him and he has to pay. So this was my time. I have shared the background of adjudication and compounding. I have shared certain information about the case laws and stand taken by the RD, ROC. So one slide I have told you to get a hold on that slide. I will again present to you that slide. So now you all will get the purpose of this slide. So these 10 new ROCs are being added and 3 new RD are being added. So why government has added 10 new ROC and 3 new regional director? What was the need? So I have explained you multiple case laws. So to increase the speed of adjudication and to increase and check the document and issue the new notices to the corporate who are making the non-compliances and get their non-compliances get adjudicated, or to get the non-compliances clean off. Government has taken a step. They have increased the strength of new ROCs. 10 new ROCs are there. In Mumbai, Maharashtra itself, there are 4 ROCs. So all the forms which we file with the MCA are now being processed by the Central Registration Center, CRC or CPC. And there is one authority who is a Central Scrutiny Center. The Scrutiny Center will scrutiny your form. So Central Scrutiny Center can scrutiny your STP form as well as non-STP form. And if they found out any mistake, so they will report to your concern ROC. In this form, the person has made so and so mistakes. So he will send this to ROC. ROC will check the form again. He will check the observation issued by the CSC. Based on their observation and based on the report, ROC will issue a show cause notice to you. Once you get the show cause notice, then entire process will start. So now we have to be a little bit more vigilant while filing a form. Now filing a form is not mere a process of filing a form. You have to consolidate all the information. You have to make sure that all the detail or field required to be filled in a form are properly filed, properly filled in. There are no errors. And if you make an error, then you are eligible to receive notice from the ROC adjudication notice. And the government is strengthening their processes. They are implementing AI. They are implementing whole lot of new, you can say, new things to their forms, and they are taking use of information technology like IT technology. They are implementing it, and what I'm predicting, sooner or later you file the form. If you have made any errors in a form, you will directly receive auto-generated notices from the government. You have made a so and so mistakes in your form. Get your form adjudicated with the ROC. Once you get adjudicated with ROC, your form will be marked as a defaulting form and you have to file a new form. So be ready with that. With that, I will conclude my session, and customary disclaimer: whatever information, whatever thought, whatever information shared by me with you is my personal views. It is not linked to any of the authority, any of the no, any of the firm. It's all purely of my views. So whatever information, or you need a much more information, let's get connected. My mail ID is CS Satish Bhanushali @gmail.com. My contact number is been mentioned. I'm hoping that no, we are not required to get connect for adjudication and consolidate compounding offenses matter. Let's be a complied, fully, you can say, shield okay, nobody can, government can come and break our shield, and we have to adjudicate and compound our offences. Thank you, Ravina. Thank you, BCF, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present my thoughts on adjudication and compounding of offences.
So before you close, we have one question for you. It's from Dinesh. He says, my one of the client has 3 DINs. How to cancel or surrender or, and to retain only 1 DIN? So if you can
Okay,
just break
so Dinesh Ji, if your client has a 3 DIN, we have to make an adjudication application with the ROC. So based on residential, where he is located, like if he is located in Maharashtra again there are 2 ROC. If he is staying or he is a resident of the Mumbai, I say from CST to Mulund and CST to Borivali. If he is living in that area, then we have to make an application with ROC1. Apart from this place, if he is living in Navi Mumbai or beyond the Thane or beyond the Borivali, we have to make an application with ROC2 for surrendering of 2 DINs. ROC will heard your matter, and based on that, he will definitely going to levy a penalty on you. But your 2 DIN will be surrender and 1 DIN will be active.
We have one more question. Whether forms not included under CCFS 2026 scheme of ROC are to be dealt through compounding or adjudication under Companies Act 2013?
Yes. So forms which are not covered under CCFS, so that has to be deal through adjudication or a compounding or offences.
Any other questions if we have? We had one more question. What happens if the company do not respond to an adjudication notice? So if a company receives a notice and if the company do not wants to respond it, what might happen to the company?
Okay, so if you have received the notice and you have accepted that notice, you should buy the ROC. Let's assume there are 2 circumstances. In a first circumstances, you have issued the ROC has issued a notice, you have accepted that notice, and you have not replied to notice, the ROC will take a suo moto action against you. They will issue again one more notice. Your time has been over, you have to submit a reply to that. If you're not submitting a reply within a so and so date, so non-compliances mentioned in the notice is deemed to be accepted by you, and ROC will issue a penalty order against you. Second one is notice issued to you and you are being undelivered. You have not accepted and you have said to stamp the person who is going to deliver at your place, I am not accepting that, and he is taken back. So if he is taking back to your notice, then again section 12 ka non-compliance will get open up, notice being undelivered, registry office being not maintained, directors are not decided at address mentioned with ROC record. So he will again going to issue a new notice for compliance to do compounding or adjudication of section 12 as well as section 155. So whatever notice you receive from the ROC, accept that, give a reply to that. If you have made the non-compliances, accept the non-compliances, submit your reply to ROC and plead before them, make the request. ROC will reduce the penalty and you will be levied a minimum penalty.
Okay, so in short, we have no option left. We have to anyways reply and just take the query forward.
So non-replying is again, you can say we are insulting the ROC. He will take in a different sense and a different pendulum box will going to open.
Yeah. Any further questions or
so we just wrap up? One question.
I believe we had 3 questions and we have answered them. A question from my side, like a layman person, what basic difference I could explain him or her on adjudication and compounding. Like if they have two words in their mind, what is the layman language I could say that this is the difference between both?
So, Ravina, just a layman language, what is adjudication and what is the compounding? So, I will give you the sort of difference between both. It's a difference is start from word penalty and fine. For a layman, both the words are the same. If I say what is the difference between a penalty and fine, you will say दोनों सरकारी दो पैसे तो भरने government को. However, when it comes to Companies Act, they think or they differentiate both the word. So penalty in a section, if word penalty is being mentioned, then you have to take a route of adjudication. Otherwise, in a section fine word is been mentioned, then you have to take a route of compounding.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your comprehensive and practical session and even clearing my doubt out of this. Before we close, I would like to leave you all with one thought. Strong compliance is not about avoiding penalty. It is about building credibility, trust, and long-term sustainability. Sessions like these are not just learning opportunity, they are stepping stone towards becoming a better profession. Thank you, each one of you, for being part of the session. And special thanks to Bhanushali Chartered Accountant Forum and Shri Kachi Bhanushali Seva Samaj Trust. Hari Om, and wishing you all a continued success in your professional journey. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ravina.
Thank you, sir.
Hari Om, thank you Satish Bhai, thank you Himanshu Bhai for all your inputs all through. It was really, really great to have you here with us and giving your intelligent insights. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miravan, for giving us this wonderful opportunity.
It was our pleasure, sir. See you.
Bye-bye.